SpaceX continues prepping Starship 24/7 for the first orbital flight. The Polaris Dawn crew begins their training. 3 flocks of Starlink satellites reach orbit in less than a week. And we finish with today's honorable mention. I'm Kevin, and this is SpaceX in the News. The FAA is supposedly going to release their final environmental assessment of the Boca Chica area at the end of the month. As SpaceX awaits the agency's decision, the company is moving forward with the final touches on the first Mars rocket prototype to attempt orbit, Starship 24 and Booster 7. A few Raptor 2 engines have been spotted entering the new Mega Bay where B7 currently resides for imminent installation. She'll require 33 of them. An S-24 begun receiving its aft flaps this week in the high bay next door. Cryo tests for the Starship could begin as early as next week, as possible road closures are scheduled, or those could be for Booster 7 static firing. Methane delivery was spotted at the launch site today, so if that's the case, expect to see a herd of Raptors flood the Mega Bay this weekend. Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, was granted another on-site interview with Elon and was told that although 24 won't be reaching a completely orbital orbit, it will be close enough to maybe allow the company to attempt deployment of Starlink version 2 satellites if they can get the PEZ dispenser to work.
We'll see. So we are incurring some complexity for the sort of the racking system inside.
You can catch Tim's full interview with Elon on his YouTube channel. Elon says their focus at the moment is just getting Starship to orbit so SpaceX can gather re-entry data and begin making improvements to the rocket system. We've known for several months now through Elon and Gwynne Shotwell's own words that, like most other companies, SpaceX is also feeling the strain from inflation and supply shortages, prompting Elon to begin sourcing resources directly for his companies instead of relying on outsiders. Eric Berger from Ars Technica is reporting that SpaceX is currently 85% self-sufficient out of sheer necessity. These threats against SpaceX's mission to colonize Mars started with COVID and were made worse under the policies of the current administration. But this audience is already well aware of that. I think it's safe to say everyone is by now. We're all feeling the ramifications of woke progressives in office abusing their power. But they've been going extra hard at Elon ever since he launched his attempt to protect free speech, especially now that he's coming out for Republicans. Everyone knows the left does not tolerate dissent. Elon tweeted yesterday that unless it's stopped, the woke mind virus will destroy civilization and humanity will never reach Mars. Whoa, hold up. I've heard this talk before. Roll the tape. No matter how hard you try, you can't separate politics and space. I've been saying for a long time now that the unfortunate truth is that the two will always be intertwined, and failing political leadership is a threat to humanity's journey to the stars. You tear down the American gateway, none of us will be going far. As a lot of you guys know, I've been trying to ring the alarm bells for like the past 2 years, ever since, the pandemic started and the BLM rats were burning everything down. I saw the direction our country was heading and I tried to wake people up. And a lot of people didn't like it, but tough. Look at where we're at now, guys. Look where we're at now. We have gone over that cliff. Space and SpaceX is not immune from politics or crazed public opinion. In fact, sound pro-American policies and public support is crucial. These progressive ideals will erode away the American foundation Starship rests upon. And mark my words, nobody will be going to Mars if they have it their way. Yeah, that's my victory lap. And frankly, after all the years of cancel culture shit being thrown my way for saying exactly what Elon himself is confirming to be the reality of the situation, I deserve to take one.
Stick my balls.
But this topic provides an excellent opportunity to talk about our sponsor for this video, My Patriot Supply. Recession is the buzzword going around lately. The stock market has been sucking, CEOs are bracing their companies for impact. Banks are saying that a recession could be months away as the economy slows. Inflation has been hitting 40-year record highs as consumer prices continue to climb. And that includes costs across the entire energy spectrum. Everyone who drives is aware that powering your car is more expensive than ever. The national average gas price is now $4.58 per gallon. Even pompous, out-of-touch luxury EV owners like Stephen Colbert, who once celebrated high gas prices, are paying more at the charging stations. And experts are saying these prices will continue to increase throughout the year and won't end well. And guess what? High prices at the pump means everything else will continue to be more expensive too. Not only are thousands of products that everyday people use made from petroleum, like food preservatives, clothes, and even Schutz bra, but fossil fuel is also how we move stuff around the world. I know hippies want to go back to them good old days where we used the power of wind to sail our ships across the sea, but here in 21st century reality, cargo ships run on diesel fuel, and those gas costs are passed all the way down the line to the consumer. So I am once again asking you to prepare for hard times ahead. Use the link below to invest in a little peace of mind with emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. Each kit comes with a variety of meals to provide you with a 2,000 caloric intake per day. And the food lasts up to 25 years. Right now you can save $150 off the 3-month emergency food kit. And they'll arrive in these durable containers so you can simply store them away out of sight. I keep mine in our home gym. Yeah, get it. So go to preparewithspace.com to order yours now. They ship to America and Canada. Preparedness today costs nothing tomorrow. Lack of preparedness today costs everything tomorrow. And failing to prepare means you're preparing to fail. That's preparewithspace.com. The crew of Polaris Dawn has officially begun their training this week at SpaceX HQ in Hawthorne, California. I mentioned a couple episodes back that much of their time will be spent preparing for SpaceX's first EVA in space. The Polaris program will ultimately culminate in the first manned Starship mission. It's been a busy week for the Falcon team within the company, using both coasts to launch 3 Starlink missions in 5 days. Starting off with Friday's launch from Vandenberg Space Force Base using a reused booster for the 5th time, and landing it on the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship stationed in the Pacific Ocean. Then less than 24 hours later, SpaceX launched a new booster from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral, christening its reliability with a landing on Just Read the Instructions off the former pirate island of Nassau in the Bahamas. And lastly, during the pre-dawn hours of Wednesday, SpaceX lit up another Falcon first stage for a 5th flight from Pad 39A, hitting a bullseye landing on a shortfall of gravitas in the Atlantic. Next up is SpaceX's 5th dedicated rideshare mission, a daylight takeoff next week from the Florida coast with a coastal landing, so it should make for some pretty rad action shots. We'll go live for it on Rumble. And now it's time for today's honorable mention.
Three, 2, 1, and liftoff.
On Thursday evening, Boeing launched their human-rated Starliner capsule on top of ULA's Atlas V rocket for its second unmanned test flight to the International Space Station. Its previous attempt back in December of 2019 failed after reaching orbit due to glitches in the capsule's software. But this time, it's been a success. Sorta. After jettisoning its twin solid rocket booster, the second stage separated from the first, and all of its aero covers relieved themselves of their duties. And then the capsule separated from the upper stage and not too long after completed a 45-second burn to put it on an orbital rendezvous with the ISS. However, during that final burn, 2 of the capsule's thrusters failed, the spacecraft handing over those duties to a 3rd thruster to compensate for the lack of oomph, to use a technical term.
And we have confirmation from Flight Director Mike Lammers. We have a good orbital insertion burn.
Starliner is expected to dock to the space station tonight around 7:10 p.m. Eastern. It's carrying 500 pounds of cargo and a test dummy equipped with all kinds of instrumentation for data collection. The mission calls for the capsule with dummy in tow to splash down in White Sands, New Mexico on May 25th. Assuming all goes well enough, NASA and Boeing hope to put crew on board for a demo flight by the end of the year. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Consider supporting the making of these videos through our locals community or buying some eccentric merch on our online store. And don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos across all your social media accounts, even if you're watching on Rumble. That's the best way to hit back at the left's love for cancel culture and big tech shadow banning. And it's free to do. Have a phenomenal weekend, and until our next one, Godspeed.